Hi, I'm Jo Ruddock, and I'm here with Alex Lepges, Technical Director EMEA at Audio-Technica. Good to see you, Alex.
Hello, good afternoon.
And so today we are talking about wireless mics. Can you share some recent developments when it comes to wireless mic technology and how these are helping to deliver more immersive viewing experiences?
So, per se, the wireless technology itself isn't having a massive impact on the immersive solutions that we need to have, as it at the end of the day just needs to replace a cable for our microphone to pick up the sound. So, as long as our wireless technology, in all the different cases for audio and video, is able to overcome this struggle to get rid of the cable in a stable, flexible and reliable way, most likely, most importantly, the reliable way. The technology underneath is secondary to the result, whether the result is good and immersive for the viewer at the end of the day. So we need to find ways to give the broadcasters the right technologies that it simply works. It sounds simple, but actually it comes down to exactly this. Make certain that the wireless is stable enough in any country you go, and make certain that it's still stable when it goes 350 kilometers per hour on a moving vehicle, for instance, and you still want to have a good quality of your signal, whatever that signal is, be it video or audio. So the recent developments are mainly targeting and aiming towards the direction, make it work no matter what and no matter where you're going. And then the immersive part, we leave that to the creative people who then makes use of the microphones and places it in the right position to pick up the most exciting sound.
Okay. And you mentioned reliability there. What other challenges are faced when it comes to deploying wireless mic technology, and how is Audio-Technica helping to overcome these?
Yeah, there are two factors in it. One is basically the location where you are on the planet. Some of the productions that we're dealing with as Audio-Technica, where we partner with broadcasters that use our gear, is that they travel the entire world. So we need to be very flexible that it works on our homeland in Japan. It needs to be working here in Europe with all the different variations that we have available on frequency allocation programs. But then you go to Australia, you go to Southeast Asia, you go to the US, and it always changes the application. So being flexible is the key factor here. We need to be as wide as possible for the tuning range. And in terms of technology, there are some additional ideas that we can follow up to see if new transmission technology beyond the traditional FM or digital in the TV UHF bands can help to overcome some of the limitations that we face in some countries, be there 2.4 gigahertz, be there DECT frequencies. But again, same goes here. They are not available everywhere at the same level of quality. So we need to be flexible with the gear as much as we can to fulfill this demand. The second challenge is then, though, that where you put the transmitter that needs to pick up the microphone signal to transmit it to the receiver can have challenges. This could be based on moving objects, obviously. So if the object moves very quickly, let's say a motorbike going very fast, then if you do time multiplexing, you run into timing issues already. Here, the traditional way of doing frequency-based channel separations is having a benefit over the newer approach, trying to squeeze in the time domain multiple channels on one frequencies, one after the other, because you have Doppler effects, you have other physical things playing into the game. And here you need to be flexible to not say, oh, this is better, this is more modern, we use that. Make certain that it really fulfills the requirement of whatever we are facing here.
Of course. And wireless systems are one part of an extensive Audio-Technica kit list used by MotoGP. Can you tell me a bit more about this partnership and how investing in audio has benefited the race series?
Yeah, here's the part clearly on the main focus of the MotoGP, which is the sound for us, obviously. And the challenge that we face, and that was mainly the reason why we were approached in the first place, is the sheer sound pressure level of these motorbikes.
Mhm.
We're talking 150, above 150 dB SPL easily in a distance of 1 meter from a motorbike that we measured. Now, the wish, of course, to make it more immersive is that you can hear the motorbike roughing up on the mic on the motorbike itself. So we want to have onboard microphones, onboard cameras. And in the past, there were microphones, of course, available, but because of the sheer sound pressure level, they had to cut out the low frequencies restrictively to avoid too much distortion coming through to the microphones. Wind is another factor. So Audio-Technica is kind of proud to claim that we're really good with high sound pressure level microphones. We invented a double wave diaphragm. So instead of using a flat diaphragm on our condenser microphone, we emboss a kind of a hexagonal pattern and a second wave on top of it. This stiffens up a small diaphragm very much, and we avoid a diaphragm going up into higher modes, like doing things like this. So it stays very stiff, and with it, no higher mode speed means less distortion. Less distortion means higher sound pressure levels. So we can put such a microphone, which is in fact a lapel microphone that we use for broadcast applications. We put this one on a motorbike. We tame it down a bit with a pad to protect the electronic that has to take that input signal and then transmit it wirelessly from the bike to the base stations. But the microphone itself, a small lapel microphone, 5 millimeters, can handle a KTM, a Yamaha, a Ducati sound pressure level of 154 with no problem, sitting right next to the exhaust pipe, which on top of it has a high temperature to deal with.
Yeah, of course.
So it's a lot of different environmental questions that we had to solve together with the fantastic team of Dorna, who's running the MotoGP show. And this challenge we were very happy to take on because we know our strengths is in the transducer technology. The wireless part actually is not so much the main focus for us here. There, of course, is a lot of wireless going on, specifically for the cameras. The motorbikes, this is all handled not by Audio-Technica, of course, because it keeps motorbike data, parameters from the bike. There's, of course, the cameras, all this. The audio is just embedded in that one. So it's not a wireless microphone that we put on the motorbikes. We are just part of picking it up. So the main focus of Audio-Technica is more get the sound right, get that one as it really sounds when you're standing next to the track and not this high-pitched sound that we all imagine, like the sewing machine sound. This is not how a motorbike sounds in reality. And the recent years of MotoGP production showed that this is no longer the truth. So because now you can listen to it for real.